Hey YouTube, Zabas of the Water here. I've got an NU battle here for you today, and looking at my opponent's team, it looks kind of standard. I mean, Zangoose, it looks like he's got some kind of... I can't even tell really what kind of core it is. I mean, Zangoose obviously is a sweeper. Garbodor with the 5th generation could either be a sweeper or a utility Pokemon. Gurderp, I have no idea if it's a setup sweeper or just plain guts booster. And really, most of the Pokemon on this team could go either way. So, without further ado, let's get to the battle. This battle is against BadgerzMmkay, who I met on the Smogon Wi-Fi-Battle Finder. He's going to start out with his Seismibro, his Seismitoad, as I send out my Shrimp, my Armaldo. He's going to go for a knockoff, as I'm going to go straight for his Stealth Rocks. Looks like we're both running utility sets here. He's going to go for a Scald, as I'm just going to return the, I believe I just returned the favor with knockoff. Yeah, I do. And now I'm going to go ahead and switch out and go into my Bambi, knowing I can take the Scald. So he Scalds, and thankfully it doesn't burn. Here I predict him to switch out to take my Hornleech. And he does. He switches out and goes into his Oscar, his Garbodor. Now here I just wanted to, I want this thing out, so he's going to pull back and go into his Beefeon. And I know he was going to switch, so I go for the Dynamic Punch. And I make a fatal error here. I completely forget that Leafeon outspeeds Golurk, which means this next turn, he's going to KO me with a Leaf Blade. I mean, I thought I could KO with another Dynamic Punch, but I completely forgot it outsped me. And really, I should have just switched out to my Bambi, and I would have been a whole lot better off. So here, I'm going to switch into my Shrimp, as he switches out and goes into his Seismibro. And I actually pull back to... I actually wanted to force him into... to use Leaf Blade so I could switch into my Sawsbuck, but you know what, this works too. Now I'm betting he's going to over-predict here and expect me to switch out, but I'm just going to go for the Hornleech this time. And so far I have been on fire. And it's at this point this guy decides, you know what, I really got to step up my game, and I can't really blame him. I mean, I was doing great this time. He's going to go for a payback, which is going to KO my Madam absolutely. Well, actually no, it doesn't KO. I thought it would KO. Okay. My Madam's more bulky than I thought it was. He's going to switch into his Beefeon, and I'm going to go for a Psychic to knock it out. He switches into his Lightyear, his Electabuzz. And I'm going to pull back and go into my Shrimp, just pretty much as Deathwater. He goes for Volt Switch, and I thought it would take me out, but I survived with 5 HP. He's going to send out his Zon the Man, his Zangoose, and he didn't even need to go for Facade. So here I go back into my Madam, my Gardevoir, and I'm hoping this thing doesn't have Quick Attack, and unfortunately it does. So it's going to take me out, and down goes Madam. It's at this point that I really wish I had my Golurk still. Now I'm going to send out my Bambi, and he's going to be, he's going to fear that I'm faster, and he's going to switch out, and I'm just going to go for a Hornleech, and he switches into his Garbodor, and it's going to do nothing. And I'm just... now it's this point that I'm completely derailed. I expect him to switch or something, and I go for a Mega Horn, and I'm like, oh, why did I do that? And he goes for Clear Smog, and yeah, it didn't really matter. This next turn, I'm going to go for a Wild Charge, knowing that it's going to be the move that does the most damage. Looks like it's going to be 2 more hits to KO, and he's just going to go for Spikes. So now, I'm just going to keep going for those Wild Charges. And I'm gonna knock him out thanks to a crit, but as you're about to see, it just isn't gonna matter. He sends out his Giggles, his Gurder, yeah, Gurder. And you know what? Just like Timburr in Lil Cup, I hate Gurder. I mean, just you know what? I think I might just hate the whole Timburr family. He goes for Bulk Up, and I'm just gonna keep going for Body Slams because I know I could Toxic it. But I'm not going to live enough turns to, if I do that, I'm not going to live enough turns to see it through. So here, I'm just shooting for the Paralysis, because I might be able to I still might be able to Parahax my way to victory. So, going to keep going for those Body Slams. I managed to get a critical hit this time, and he's going to go for Drain Punch. So, down goes Tanket. It's going to KO, no question. And he's going to be up to near full HP. So now I'm down to my last Pokemon, my Kangaskhan. So I send out Kangaroo, and here I'm just gonna go for Substitute, and I'm gonna speed through a lot of it because it's pretty much just me going for Return. He's gonna break my sub. I go for Substitute, and yeah, just rinse and repeat. I'm just hoping for a crit. And I'm not doing that much damage, but I think if I get a crit, I might be able to KO. So, thankfully, I'm still getting the Parahaxes when I set up my subs. And during this next turn, my luck's going to run out, because he's going to fire off a Mach Punch, it's going to hit, and at that range of HP, and I think even if I was at full HP, it was going to KO, and that's the end of the battle.